Hi, everybody. I am joining you from our future yoga retreat center. We have the beautiful lake behind us, all of this meadow, and we're on the most gorgeous campground. However, I will tell you it is a public space, so you might already hear the child behind me, or any other thing might happen. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. So that's why we do yoga, in order to calm no matter what. Like, whatever's going on around you, I invite you to bring the awareness a little more internal. And I'm kind of out of breath. I think it's because of the elevation. Not quite sure. Woo! Anyway, let's get started lying on our backs. Bringing yourself to the back side of your body, go ahead and place one hand, your right hand, on your right hip, and your left hand on your left hip. I want you to feel your pelvis. I want you to feel this center axis that is so important to us all. And just as a way of inviting ourselves into this space, let's take a few breaths together. So inhaling through your nose, nice and slow. And then open your mouth and exhale. We're going to take a couple more like that. So wherever you are, I really think there's less oxygen up here. So I'm going to take a longer breath. I want you guys to take the longest breath you've ever taken in your life. Pull that life force energy into your body. Take a big breath in. Let it fill you up. And then open your mouth and exhale. Releasing the breath as you release your body. And we're going to take one more breath like that as an invitation, because we're inviting ourselves into our body. Most of our day we're up in our mind, we're thinking, we're trying to figure shit out. Now is our opportunity to drop the mind and get into the vessel. So with this last breath, I would invite you to take that invitation. Take a big breath in. Let it fill your ribcage, expand your lungs, expand you to maximum capacity, like right now it's happening. Fill your lungs with that air. Hold your breath. And then open your mouth and exhale. Release your breath. Release your body. So for this next bit of time that we have together, I would like you to do your best to stay really curious. So whatever sensations that you're feeling in your body, whatever vibrations or hums or like ideas, I want you to listen to your body for this next bit of time that we have together, no matter what. For now, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. I want you to feel like a figure four shape. So this is not crossing your legs. This is hooking your ankle on your thigh and then pressing your right knee away. And if you feel inclined, bring your legs towards you. You can grab behind your hamstring or maybe the top of your shin. And I just want you to make sure it feels comfortable. So if it feels painful in any of your joints for any reason whatsoever, I want you to back out immediately. Never, never, never moving into pain. I don't like to say never, but unless it's never, never land or avoiding pain, I guess there's certain times when you could use that word. Never. Take a big breath in. And an easy breath out. Let's switch it out. Bring your legs up the wall. Imagine you're standing on the sky. Imagine your feet are like creating a bowl for the sun or the moon or the stars. You don't have to actually touch your feet together, but just energetically thinking about that. Options with your arms, you can make a little pillow like me, interlacing your hands behind your head. Or maybe you bring your arms down beside you, palms facing down for grounding. Palms facing up is a gesture of receiving. And find your sweet spot where you're stacking your heels over your knees, over your hips. You'll know when that alignment happens because you don't have to try anymore. When everything is stacked, it takes care of itself, yeah? Take a full breath in. Full breath out. We're gonna stay here for 5 more breaths, slowly as possible. Imagine that your breath is like the longest thing that you could possibly do. Like maybe you're like on the Tour de France and your breath is that vigilant. It's long and slow and powerful. Bring it all the way into your body. When you think that you're full of air, take one more sip. And then open your mouth and exhale. Release your breath. Relax your body. Grab your knees into your chest. Right hand on your right knee, left hand on your left knee. Pull your knees out around your rib cage and towards your shoulders. And maybe you like to rock a couple times from side to side. And at least for me right now, it feels good to bend and straighten my knees. It might feel good for you to circle your ankles and flex and point your toes. So this whole bottom part of our body, we're standing on it all day long. We have the weight of our body, we have gravity pressing down no matter what. So it's very rare that we get the opportunity to like open these spaces up. So I want you to take some time and wiggle your feet. And then grab your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Make your way up to a comfortable seat. So I like to roll to one side. You might feel like rocking and rolling up your spine. Press your hands into the mat, lift your chest, and come up nice and tall. So I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This is a chunk of magic that my friend shared with me. And I'm planning on hosting upcoming yoga retreats here. So if you want to do yoga with me here, stay in the loop. I'm going to drop a link for my email list in the comments below. But for now, let's just keep stretching it out. Bring your right leg out. Sole of your left foot on the inside of your thigh. Inhale to reach your arms up over your head. Lift your chest, your rib cage. Full breath in. Exhale, hinge forward at your waist. So rather than rounding your back, I want you to lead with your chest and hinge from your hips, yeah? Hands come on either side of your foot or leg. Oh, maybe one day foot. Keep leading with your chest. Keep breathing. Make sure you're breathing nice and slow. In and out of your nose. And I'm not sure where you're practicing right now, but I'm hoping that some of this wind and mountain energy gets transferred to you. I really want you to feel, I want you to feel beautiful and amazing. Keep breathing as you allow your body to come down towards your thigh. Slowly walk your hands back towards your hips as you inhale. Take your right foot, plant it on the ground, and we're going to have a couple of options here. So you can keep your foot on your left ankle area, or maybe you cross it over and bring it on the opposite side of your thigh. So it just depends. And if this feels like a lot on your knee, I'd like you to extend your left leg out. Yeah? So we have a few options here. I want you to choose what feels best in your body. I can't see you right now, so you have to be taking care of yourself. It's so important. Please, please, if you feel pain, do something else. Let the ego go. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Hands interlace underneath your knee, lift your chest. Your spine should feel long and strong. Hook your left elbow on your right knee. Reach your right arm high up and over, lift your chest. So here's the thing. If your leg is not on the outside of your foot, it could be here. You could still be getting the same benefit. Or it could be here. And if that's true, I want you to reach your right arm high up and over and grab the outside of your left thigh. So we all have very different anatomy. Our bodies are very different from each other. And yoga is about listening. So Don't try to make it look like what I look like. Don't try to make it look like anything else. Just feel it. Like, feel that shit. Look over your right shoulder, lift your chest, and twist. Take the same thing to the other side. So unwinding your legs, take your left leg out. Sole of your right foot on the inside of your thigh. Take a big breath in. Exhale, folding over your left leg. Feel that hinge from your hips, that nice length on the entire back side of your body. And just knowing, like, no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what you're dealing with, like, for real, your body is capable of anything. And if you give a little bit of time out of your day to lean in to feelings and sensations, to observe rather than figure it out, you're giving yourself a huge benefit. So, I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this video at this point, you already know what I'm talking about. We're just going to stay here for 3 more breaths. Slow and steady in and out of your nose. No matter what's going on in your life, your breath is always with you. Just make it smooth and slow, and it will calm your whole nervous system down all the time. You have control. On your next inhale, slowly walk your hands up. So we're going to take our twist again. You can plant your foot kind of by your right ankle bone. Maybe you choose to cross your foot over your right thigh. And if that's happening for you, great. You can also choose to straighten your left leg out. So any one of those options are going to give us badass benefits. I want you to choose the one that's right for you. I want you to root down with your seat. Really sit down. Inhale, lift your chest. And then we're going to twist. So taking your right elbow around your left shoulder. Left arm comes high and up. So maybe your hand is grabbing your leg or your ankle. It doesn't have to look like this. I want you to find a spine that's long, and I want you to feel a twist. And however that looks for you is perfect. And I'm just glad you're here, like, showing up. You know what I mean? So fuck what it looks like. You're beautiful. Lift your chest, inhale. Exhale, twist. Look over your left shoulder. As you inhale, slowly coming back to center, bring the soles of your feet to touch. Adjust your hips a bit. Make sure that your sit bones feel even and rooted on the ground, and you might need to adjust yourself from side to side and just make sure that you're feeling rooted and even. You're feeling supported by the ground. We're going to twist again. Same thing that we just did. It's just going to feel different with our legs like this. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand comes to your right knee, or maybe your shin. It's all like anywhere along this leg that you want to grab it. Tense your fingertips behind you, lift your chest, and then twisting, looking over your right shoulder as much as your neck allows. Checking out your situation, what's happening to the right side of your life. Oh my God, you guys, it's so pretty out here. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. So right hand comes to your left knee. Touch your fingertips with your chest. And you might be grabbing your ankle or your shin. Like like I said, everybody's anatomy is different. So I want you to find the grip that works. I want you to lift your chest. And as you look over your left shoulder, imagine you're squeezing out, rinsing yourself out like a wet sponge. I don't know why I started to stutter there. That was weird. Lift your chest, big inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Continue to breathe. Use your beautiful breath. Slowly unwind, come back to center. Straighten both of your legs out nice and wide. Adjust your hips. Make sure you feel even and comfortable on your sit bones. Your sit bones are these two little bony bits that they kind of come down at the base of your hips. And your hips and your low back are all connected to each other by joints, ligaments, fascia, muscles, They're all very tightly bound. We're basically like giant pieces of water taffy, you know what I mean? So what we're trying to do is create length on the back side of our legs. If this feels really uncomfortable for your hamstrings, which is like really common for a lot of people, I want you to bend your knees a little bit. And if it feels supportive, you can roll up towels or blankets or put like pillows underneath your knees to add extra support. And I want to make sure that you're mindful in forward folds because we don't want to round the back, we want to hinge from the hips. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, hands come to the ground, and then leading with your chest, leading with your heart, coming down. And you're gonna feel the movement, the action happening in your hip joints. Once again, bending your knees can help. Once again, bolsters, pillows, blocks, anything that can be helpful as well. But I just want you to hinge forward until you feel that natural edge, like when your body stops on its own. And then close down your eyes and wait for it. Wait for it. Because what was not available before is about to be available now. You know what I mean? If you can close down your eyes, close down the striving part of it, just breathe into it. Those really deep tissues will open up naturally on their own. It's just true. If your eyes aren't closed already, shut up. And if you're not thinking about your breath, slowly in and out of your nose, just remind yourself, we'll be here for 5 more breaths in this pose. I hope you guys can hear the beautiful songbirds. I'm so excited to bring you here, like on an actual retreat. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Hands into the mat, lift your chest. And let's swing our legs to the long end of the mat. So we're gonna come down to our backside. Bring your hips forward, come down to your back and hug your knees into your chest. And then giving yourself a nice little squeeze here. Feeling that beautiful compression on the front of your hips and your lower abdominals. This is stimulating your digestion. Plant your feet on the ground. Take your feet to the outside edges of your mat, so make sure your feet are nice and wide. Cactus your arms with your palms facing up. And then scooching your hips over to the right side, just drop your knees over to the left. So I want you to keep your feet wide when you do this. If this causes any strain on your right knee, I want you to slide a pillow or a prop underneath your right knee. If this feels okay, settle in. You can also choose to turn your head. So maybe you look to the left or turn your head towards the right. It just depends on what feels good for you. And I want you to find your sweet spot. So what I mean by that, it's not a place where you're striving or trying. It's a place where you are completely able to drop in and allow. So work that out. Use your next inhale to guide your knees back to center. Adjust your hips over to the left side. and then knees come over to the right. You want to keep your feet wide, you know what I mean? So your feet are still wide. You're just big, open hip rotation here. And this is so good for realigning the joints, for like realigning the bones. Our leg comes up and attaches, like our greater trochanter, this big ball and socket situation. It hugs deep into the pocket of your hip. And then your hips actually connect to your low back, your sacrum, your lower vertebrae. And because we walk so much or use our bodies so much, or because we sit a lot, this part of the body gets really tight and down. And I've been noticing a lot of both because I'm traveling around, I'm driving a lot, and sitting is more of my life than I would like it to be. So I got to take these times to like loosen it up and bring back the energy. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay here for 5 more breaths. On your inhale, bring your knees back to center, adjust your hips to the middle, bring your arms down by your side, and feel a little bit neutral in your spine. Like wiggle it out if you need to, adjust, like just, yeah, work it out. And then once again, guiding your knees into your chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Thank your amazing body. It does so much work for you. It takes you everywhere you need to go. It's your vessel for accomplishing all of your missions. So love your body, love yourself. Take a big breath in. Exhale into your final Shavasana, legs long and arms long. Take whatever time you need to adjust and situate. I want your head to feel supported. So if you need a pillow, grab it. I want your shoulders to feel even, so kind of snuggling your shoulders down a little bit. Make sure they both feel flat and broad to the floor. And if you notice that you're leaning to one side or the other, see if you can adjust so that you can create a more like neutral experience for your spine. Heels come towards each other, toes flop out to the side. And it's your choice. Palms facing up is a gesture of receiving. Palms facing down is super grounding. So it's up to you. Palms up, palms down, figure it out. And we're going to stay here for a little bit of time together. This is how we integrate. This is how we shift from body to mind and mind to body. This is how we take a couple moments of our day to be as present as possible. So as we lay here together, I'd like you to follow the rhythm of your breath. Notice what your heartbeat feels like. Stay connected to the sensations that you feel in your body. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Take a full breath in. Smooth breath out. Plant your feet on the floor one by one. Push your heels into the ground, lift your hips. Bring your arms up over your head, arch your back. Feel nice and lifted and open in the front of your hips. Lower your hips down to the ground and then hug your knees into your chest. Once again, hugging your amazing self. And then making your way up to a seat. So you can either rock and roll up the length of your spine or roll over onto your side and press yourself up. Sitting nice and tall with your legs crossed and your eyes closed. Take a couple moments here to adjust your seat. So if you need to wiggle from right hip to left hip until you feel grounded, take that opportunity. Bring your hands to your lap, palms facing down. Imagine the top of your head is stretching away from the ground. Bringing your hands together at your chest. This is Anjali Mudra, the mudra for balance. So reminding ourselves of that incredible balance that we are inviting into our every single day. Thanking ourselves for showing up. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I am in an area very close to Tahoe, California, and I am manifesting magical yoga retreats here. So if this seems interesting to you, please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to, I'm also going to drop a link for my mailing list. That's how you can stay in the loop for all of my upcoming yoga retreats. So stay in the loop, let's get connected, and I love you. Namaste.